Joan Collins, you guys, who, by the way, is going to be on DB in a few weeks. Well, she has something to say about the term toxic masculinity. In a recent New York Times interview, Joan said there's been a growing anti-male sentiment since the Me Too movement. She said, quote, sadly, I think now young men are suffering from being labeled toxically masculine because of this rise of anti-maleness. Joan also revealed that she had been sexually assaulted by powerful Hollywood men in the past, but said things like that happen to girls, quote unquote, all the time in those days.
Sam, I'm seeing a face.
Well, I see Erica's face.
Yeah,
I would like to hear from Erica.
That's the face. That was,
yep.
Yeah, that's the face.
No, I think, Joan Collins is obviously a legend. She's also a woman of a certain generation, and I am not surprised to hear this take. I think a lot of people of a certain generation are very concerned about their grandkids. They're concerned about the way that they are going to feel, because when they're hearing, toxic masculinity or, these things that can be identifiers to people that they love, then they internalize it as opposed to making it about the greater whole of society. Of course, we know that unfortunately during her day when she was talking about being a younger woman, these things happen. During my day, during our day, these things happened. Doesn't make it any more right. And I think the fact that when we are calling it out, that people are automatically inserting themselves and the people that they love into the narrative, it's dangerous. And it's also dangerous to be inserted into that narrative, because unless you actually are a sexual predator or an overly aggressive person for whatever reason, then don't put your name in the equation. It's kind of like, if it don't apply, let it fly. But again, she's an icon, and I respect her.
Yeah, I don't like these blanket labels. I've said it before, I've talked about it, I don't want to go too deep into it, but there are men who take advantage of women, rape women, and they equate that to toxic masculinity, right? And there's something that you might have said off color, and then all of a sudden you're in that same category as someone who raped someone.
But see,
and
I disagree with that.
But use it for anything, Erica.
No.
Use it for racism, homophobia, transphobia, anything.
I strongly disagree. I'm going to say that because when I speak about a sexual assault, I don't call that toxic masculinity.
Right,
I call it sexual assault. I don't put it under the same umbrella. I understand that people use terms to throw out there, but again, it's like people use terms. My entire life, people have used terms to throw out, to say things about me, to put me in a whatever.
Right.
For most of us, that's the situation. But for me, I'm like, if it doesn't apply to me, I'm no longer going to allow anyone to label me outside of who I am. I show up every day. I represent myself in the way that I see fit. If people have a problem with that and they want to label me, that's fine. Label me. Continue to talk crap, because the algorithm does not care. I sleep well at night. So when people try to insert themselves into every single description, I think it's very disruptive to what the intention of the description is.
I think you guys actually agree.
I totally agree. And I wanted to speak after. I know we got to wrap, because you brought up such a great point. I love you for that. I shouldn't equate the toxic masculinity with rape. You're totally right. But as far as the other blanket things go, and you said if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Well, it doesn't apply to me personally, but I still take it personal when someone writes that on my page or my wife's page, or writes into the show and calls our boss, and they're calling me a homophobe or this or that. And the other thing, because it affects my future career.
Right,
if this is so it does apply to me, right? And I'm not that person, but you still want to hold me down, right? But at the same time, if I went and struck somebody in their face and punched them in the face for what they said to me, that's better than having a misstep in what you say and being called a homophobe or transphobe and all those other labels.
I think to your first point, I think you're right. None of us are immune to people coming after us.
Right.
People are going to say whatever they want to say, the same way that we sit here and say what we want to say. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but that is a distraction.
Yeah, I know.
The devil is a lie, and he will come in at any point and try to get into your mind, because if people can't take away your opportunities, if they can't take away your blessings, your beautiful wife, your children, your home, then they'll get in your mind to make sure that you can't enjoy them. Not me, TD Jakes.
I love you. I love you.
Love you both.
Yeah.
That was a great combo.